Alright, so here we are for match number 2 with Blue-Black Reanimator. We're going to mulligan this hand, unfortunately. It's got 6 lands, and I don't really feel like keeping that would be very fruitful. I am, however, going to keep this one. Seems like a good starting hand to have. Hopefully everything is not too loud. I did shut off my air conditioner. Oh, we're definitely keeping that on top. That's a perfect land because it goes to the graveyard. And it also feeds the... it also gives me a black source. So. What is this? I don't know what this is. Not that one. We're going to basic land cycle first. And we're going to get this swamp. Not sure what I'm playing against here, but should be interesting. Another island, huh? Alright, well, we'll play out the swamp. And then probably going to think twice at the end of turn. I'd be incredibly surprised if that's not what I chose to do. So we'll see. Of course, Skyfisher, huh? Okay. So maybe blue, red, white. Yeah, it looks like Kuldotha Boro is splashing blue, though, for probably Mole Drifter. Drew a Delver Secrets, but there is a Brainstorm. So I guess here I'll play the Delver and I'll leave up the Brainstorm. And we'll see what that does for me in this life. Probably taking 2 here. Even if I could block, I wouldn't, but that's just me. Okay. Yep. Wouldn't count a prison even if I could. So, there is that. Man, why is it so hot in my room? It's bullcrap. Probably going to Brainstorm here at the end of turn. I don't really care much if the Delver dies. I mean, I care and I don't at the same time. Lone Missionary is cool-ish. So, let's go ahead and Brainstorm here. See another Delver. A Riverwinder, and Augur of Bolas. Well, we're definitely going to reveal the Mental Note. I think if anything, Delver's worse than any other card in my hand, so I think I'm willing to Mental Note away the Delver. We're just going to go ahead and flip this bad boy. Yes. And we'll play this island. I could play Gurmagangler here. But I think Mental Noting is probably better. Let's go ahead and Mental Note first and see what I get into the graveyard. Brainstorm and a Delver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so let's go ahead and play this Gurmagangler. I'm not attacking. I'd rather have the option to block this Core Skyfisher, I think. And we'll leave up cycling one of these Riverwinders or the Vapor Snag. And hopefully that gets us somewhere. I can tell you right now, I think this is probably an extremely bad matchup. They have just too much removal. And the fact of the matter is, again, none of my creatures have trample, so getting in is not going to be easy. Getting in is probably going to be quite difficult here. Yep, there's a lightning bolt. I'm not going to Vapor Snag back my Delver because then there's no guarantee I'm even going to possibly be able to flip it. So, gonna take 2 here. Wish I could block with my Gurmagangler, but I can't. I forgot to cycle my. Well, whatever. That was an accident. Alright, let's go ahead and play this Augur of Bolas first. I want to leave up the option to do both of these, so... Alright, found a counterspell. It's also another good thing. So let's go ahead and attack for 5. Because we're not blocking with the Gurmagangler, we can just block here anyway. Yep, my opponent's blocking because the Lone Missionary is never getting in, so they might as well save 5 life. Perfectly fine block from my opponent. And we'll see what they do. Oh, looks like they're going to attack me first. Take 2. No battle screech. That's good. No polluted mire. Interesting. So maybe they're playing Ghostly Flicker or Momentary Blink in their deck. It's extremely possible. I'm going to go ahead and cycle. If they have 2 burn spells to kill my Angler, happens. Going to go ahead and cycle again. And a Thought Scour, okay. Another island. Play the island. I guess we'll get in for 6. I don't know. I don't imagine my opponent's going to play 2 creatures. I mean, yeah, at instant speed. So we're just going to go ahead and attack for 6 here. And I guess we'll pass the turn, leaving up Vapor Snag. Probably very possible that I actually counterspell this Lone Missionary, not only to keep a creature off the board, but also so that my opponent does not gain 4 life. I think I have to do that, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I thought the symbol was a moon for a second. I was like, what the hell? Is it from the dark or something? Excuse me. Remember the Fallen. Okay. That's a very interesting deck from my opponent. Okay. I mean, that's fine. All it really did was gain them 4 life, and yeah, it took a counterspell out of my hand, but I think that's worth it. So I think here I'm going to go ahead and Thought Scour myself. Get another card. Let's go to Mental Note and Dispel. Alright. Discard the Dispel is kind of weak, but another island. Let's go ahead and brainstorm here, see what I get. Delver. Alright, well, we'll do it like this and like that. And I'm going to go ahead and attack for 5, but I'm going to leave open... I'm going to leave back the Augur of Bolas. And we're going to play Delver and Delver. And then we're going to leave up the option to think twice, although you watching this and I playing this know that I'm not actually going to do that. So one of the problems here is it's true that I can Vapor Snag back the Core Skyfisher, but I really don't want to. Tax. So I think the plan here is actually to just Vapor Snag back the Sanctum Gargoyle and go to town. Yeah, I think that's actually my plan here. Since I'm drawing another Vapor Snag anyway. So we're going to flip twice, revealing another Vapor Snag. Unfortunately, I'm 1 mana off of casting this Serpent, so there isn't really a point in actually, cycling it, because I can just cast it next turn. And correctly, my opponent is blocking and taking 6. And we're just going to simply pass the turn. So opponent with Sanctum Gargoyle in hand. And another card that I'm not really sure of. It's probably Sanctum Gargoyle again, yep. Not attacking this time. Alright. Let's go ahead and think twice. And we will bounce it back again. Of course, my opponent knows not to attack there because they would actually have... I would actually have lethal on the board, so I'm assuming they have nothing in hand. So I'm just going to attack here with everything since the Augur of Bolas doesn't need to block. And because it is an extra point of damage that could matter. They're probably just going to trade with a Delver or Insectile Aberration, I guess. Take 9 and go to 3. And we're going to cast this big boy that they can't really do anything about except for countering it. Okay, they did have a Bolt, but they chose to go to 3 anyway. I don't know why, and I don't really care. Ooh, a Journey off the top. So they are going to live a turn. They are going to live a turn. Unless I can draw something. The third Vapor Snag, I guess. Alright, Brainstorm. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm first. Ooh. Alright, let's go ahead and put these 2 back on top so I don't need them. See if I want to shuffle. I do not. I actually want the Gurmag Angler, so no. Then we're going to go ahead and Gush. And we'll Thought Scour myself, I guess. Ooh, when I drew an Exhume, But the problem with Exhume is they have a lone missionary. Oh, and I discard the Rush of Vitality. That sucks. Alright. Well, we're going to go ahead and attack for 6. And he's going to block... He or she is going to block my dude and go to 2. And then I'm going to play another lethal guy. And I guess I don't actually have to tap out there, but screw it. Who cares? Opponent's clicking a little too fast there. Oh man, they drew Kuldotha Rebirth. Well, my opponent just won't die. And a Bone Splitter. Okay, well, that doesn't really do much. Thankfully. Alright, so I am going to win the game. One of the reasons, of course, to also play Nihil Spellbomb that I forgot to talk about in the deck tech, I think I forgot to talk about it, is that you, of course, don't want to return creatures from your opponent's graveyard. So Nihil Spellbomb actually helps with that. And a counterspell, guess I'll let that resolve. Might as well. I just want to see another card from my opponent's deck if they show it. Lord, only God knows if they will. They drew something. What the hell did they draw? They drew a Muldrifter off the top. Okay, well, no. No, you're not allowed to have that. Okay, so... they seem to have a lot of graveyard strength, so I'm going to bring in the Nihil Spellbomb, I'm going to bring in the Deep Analysis, and the Stormbound Geists, and the Deprive, and the Dispel. I don't think Spontaneous Mutation does enough here. So I think that's better left out of the deck. As far as what cards to take out, since I have 6 cards coming in. Actually, you know what? On the draw, Stormbound Geist might not be great. I think Rush of Vitality is pretty good. Delver, again, is probably not great because they're going to have so many burn spells that killing a Delver is not going to be all that hard. I could bring in the 3rd Nihil Spellbomb. I guess Vampiric Link would also be good to put on my River Wonder. So you could probably shave a mental note for that. And again, I don't think Spontaneous Mutation is going to do enough because if they have a bunch of tokens, it's not really going to help me all that much. I think I'm going to leave it like this for now, and hopefully that is a good enough build of the main deck to get somewhere in life. Oh, my opponent scooped. Okay. Well. Alright. So, my opponent just scooped there, but I think you basically saw how this deck functions. I'm sorry if you guys might get upset by this, but I'm pretty sure I showed you enough of how this deck works. Between all of these games, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I wish that my opponent didn't scoop, and I actually beat them game 2. But, you know. So, what are my thoughts on this deck? Well, I think Kung Fu Trees has shown to be one of the better deck builders of this Pauper era. I think that Delver's great in this deck as a game 1 play. It still has merits against most control decks, of course, but I think against most aggro decks you're going to side them out, which makes it easy because I usually suck at sideboarding, so having 4 easy cards to sideboard out is always a good thing. One big problem I have with this deck, of course, is that you don't have trample on any of your dudes. So if there was a way for you to actually give your 2 guys some kind of evasiveness, if you could somehow give them flying, or if you could give them trample somehow, which I know in blue and black giving trample is really hard, but that'd be really, really helpful. I love how the deck's constructed. I think that this is pretty much, if you're going to make any changes, start with this shell, and then edit based on your playstyle, based on what you think the meta is at the nowadays, and things of that variety. I would also like to see some more removal, maybe some Doom Blades. I really like to see like a couple of Doom Blades. I wouldn't mind seeing a Soul Manipulation in here. or maybe a couple of excludes to have some more counter magic. I wouldn't not keep the Vapor Snacks. I think the 1 point of life actually makes a huge difference. It's just I'd like to see Doomblade somewhere in this 75 as a 2 or 3 of. Probably a 3 of, but... I think Spontaneous Mutation is great, but I think being able to actually remove a blocker from the board is going to be even better. So, do I think you should play this deck? Well, here's the thing. I don't want to say no, because this deck continually surprises me, or continues to surprise me on how good the deck can be. And it continues to prove to me that Kung Fu Trees is not messing around when it comes to deck building. So, do I think you should play this deck? Well, here's the thing. I think that this deck will mount you some wins. I think it can 3-2 a league pretty easily. As long as you practice with the deck, you learn how to sideboard with it, you learn what game plans to take in what matchups, because you really need to learn like how to fight against a certain deck. You really need to learn like what cards are key to counter against a teaching stack. You really need to learn what threats are key to deal with against an aggro deck, things like that. Do I think you're going to 5-0 and 4-1 a lot? Probably not. I think that over time this deck is probably going to have variants catch up to it, or you're just going to face decks that just aren't great matchups. I don't think Blue-Red Delver is the best matchup. I think Stompy is a lot to leave desired. I think Burn is terrible. And I think your Dendrovatron matchup is a little lackluster, but I don't think that one's impossible. I think you're actually kind of favored in that matchup if you can get out an early Sidewinder or a Gurmag Angler they can't quite deal with. So there's that. But yeah, so do I think you should play this deck? Well, I don't think you're going to get many good 5-0 or 4-1 results. But I'm not telling you not to play it. Either way, let me know what changes you would make, and of course... you can always let me know if you have any questions, and I can always try to ask Kung Fu Trees myself. I think in the CPC he went 1-2. I'm not exactly sure what he lost to, but I think he went 1-2 with this deck in Cycle B. So I don't think that should influence you too much, considering the type of tournament that it is. But just in case. But yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Arctic Pauper Show. Thank you very much for watching. As always, do check out puremtgo.com. They have tons of great articles from tons of great writers that are all better than myself. Do make sure to check out the Community Pauper Challenge, twitch.tv/Community Pauper Challenge. Come hang out. Happens every Monday night at 8 p.m. EDT. So feel free to hop in and hang out. We also have our YouTube videos. If you guys are not able to be there, I know it's Monday, so if you want to watch the VODs, check out our YouTube channel. I think is also Twitch. Sorry, not Twitch. I think is also Community Pauper Challenge. To ask that, you can ask Nega Shane on Twitch. Nega_Shane, like Nega Scott from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He loves that movie. Yeah. Also, do check out mtgotraders.com, as they're great. And if you guys would like to compete in a tournament for Pauper, a free tournament as well with real prizes, go on over to gatherling.com and check out Pauper Classic Tuesdays. I am one of the admins, or assistant admins of the website, and you can feel free to go check it out. It's free to enter. It's just like a real Pauper tournament. I cannot tell you what time, how late it runs. It starts every Tuesday at 8 p.m. EDT. If you have any questions, you can contact me on MTGO, or you can ask any of the Discord guys. Most of them are in there usually, so you can always ask. And, if you guys want to, I don't plan on making this career, but if you want to, you don't have to. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. I only ask that you enjoy my content and maybe learn something from it. But, if you don't learn anything, it means I have failed and I'm horrible, which is not unheard of. And, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. There aren't really any benefits to it. The only thing that you get by subscribing is, one, making me feel good, and two, you get to see when my videos go live before anyone else, because you'll be alerted on your YouTube homepage. So, there's that. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Hope you have a good one.